All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you all so much for coming to Trusted Health's office hours today. We have some amazing members of our care team joining us today to just chat through all things trusted and answer any questions that you all may have. So, before we get started, we'll kind of go through a little bit of housekeeping and then we'll get into the good stuff. All right. So, just to kind of go over our platform a little bit, I know that some of you may be not familiar with this platform. So, if you toggle to the right there in the general section, that's where we're chatting there just to get to know each other and kind of chat about, where you're from, or if you have any general comments on anything that we're kind of presenting throughout. And then also, if you toggle to the right, there's a Q&A section I've just opened up. So whenever you do have any questions, feel free to jot those in the Q&A section. And if you like someone else's question, instead of having to ask it again, you can actually upvote it. So then I get to those a little bit quicker. If you write a question in the general section, it's okay. I'll get to them all at the end. So don't worry. But yeah, we're just here to listen, learn, and connect with one another. Maybe not be 7 hours away, but still virtually. And then just get inspired to travel with Trusted. If at any point in our event you have any trouble seeing audio, visual, or anything like that, what you can do and what we suggest is going out of the event, testing your audio and visual. Sometimes that troubleshooting works. And then if it still doesn't work and you come back into the event, you can either do two things. You can click that question mark button in the right for help. We have Bevy support members standing by ready to help you all. And then also I will be available via DM throughout the entire presentation. So do not feel that, someone will not be here. I will be here for you guys. So that's kind of the gist of our platform. And then as far as our agenda goes, we're going to introduce everybody that's on the call today. We're going to talk about how Trusted is different, as well as how Trusted works in the care team, and have a Q&A portion just in case anybody has any questions about anything that we're discussing. Just a little bit about Trusted. We understand that we do things a bit differently than traditional recruiter model agencies. So we want to provide some education to ensure that all of our travelers know you're fully supported and cared for throughout your entire journey with us. So today we will have a member of the care team, like I said, as many of us are nurses ourselves, give a bit of insight on when and how they'll help you throughout your process, as well as find the perfect job, sign a contract, onboarding, to even extensions and more. So we'll also discuss a little bit about how we here at Trusted support our nurses not only through their jobs, but through the plethora of resources through our blogs, our community of 30K nurses, our virtual and live events, as well as our podcasts. We will wrap this up with a Q&A portion. So if you have any questions about travel nursing, because many of us have travel nursed before, or just our Trusted platform or how things work, we will have a Q&A portion at the end. So thank you all so much again for joining us, and we will get started. All right. So I know I talked your ear off, but I'm Britt. I am the community manager here at Trusted. I have been a nurse for 9 years. I traveled for 4 in all the alphabet soup specialties you guys we have out there. And I originally am from North Carolina, but I currently call LA home. The gypsy life took me, and I put down an anchor. But I also, for a fun fact, I lived on a surgical ship in Africa for 2 months. All right, so we have Katie next.
Hey y'all, I'm Katie. I'm a care coordinator here at Trusted. I've been working here since last September. And before that, I was a small business owner and I managed 50 Airbnb rentals in the Boise, Idaho area. I'm a wife to my husband, Sam, and dog mom to my mini dachshund, Baron. You can see him in the picture. And like I said, I'm from Boise, but I've been living in Portland for the last couple years. And fun fact about me, I collect mugs with maps on them. So my grandma and I are travel buddies, and we've collected them from all over the world. So I have over 30 of them. So that's a little about me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tessa. I'm an operations coordinator here at Trusted Health. I've been with Trusted since November 2021. Before that, I was working as a CNA, and then before that, I was the director of operations for a small business. I am mom to an almost 3-year-old. I'm married to a small business owner. I'm also located in the Portland, Oregon area. So that means we love to hike, camp, paddleboard, and do all things outdoors. A fun fact about me is I'm an avid reader. This is a little bit embarrassing, maybe, but during the pandemic, I had a month-long period where I was averaging about a book a day. So if you ever want some book recs or you have any to throw my way, send them over.
Guys, my name is Ashley. I am a nurse advocate here at Trusted. I've been here since June of 2019. I'm a NICU nurse, have been for 9 years, and still work per diem here at Children's Colorado. I am a dog mom. My boys are named Norman and Harvey. I love to travel. I love ice cream and currently live in Denver. And fun fact is, pure FOMO convinced me to climb Mount Kilimanjaro after I finished my second medical mission trip in Uganda.
Hey everyone, I'm Kate. I'm a clinical success partner. I have been at Trusted since September of 2021. I actually onboarded with Katie, fun fact. I've been a nurse for a little over 10 years, primarily in the ER. I do still work per diem at UCSD, so if you're ever there, swing by the ER and say hello. Originally from Massachusetts, I landed in San Diego, much like Britt, as a gypsy. California just got me. This is where I live now with my rescue pup, Remy. Fun fact about me is I have a little side hustle and do nutrition coaching on my own business.
Amazing. Welcome to the care team. All right. So have you all travel nurse before? Are you on assignment now? Where are you located? What specialty are you in? Just jot it in the general, and we will, since we already kind of chatted about ourselves, you don't want to hear that. Uh-oh. Yes, Children's Aurora. Nice. Missouri. I love that. I love that. It's so nice to meet you guys. All right, we'll get into it.
All right. So, as Britt alluded to, we definitely do things a bit differently here at Trusted. First and foremost, we believe in transparency and building a great relationship with all of our nurses. Just one example of this is having our pay packages up front and assignment details on your match pages. We try to keep everything as up to date as our vendors provide us with information so that there aren't any surprises later. As Britt also mentioned, there are no recruiters. So my team of nurse advocates kind of wears the same hats as a recruiter would in terms of helping you get your profile up and ready to go and be sure that we've got everything we need to get you submitted. Nurse-led support, we've got a huge care team of people that you'll hear about. Everyone's ready to help you along the way. And again, your main point of contact for a lot of the experience, both while looking for a job and while on assignment, has a nurse behind the scenes for you. And then peace of mind, we do offer a comprehensive benefits package. We've got health, vision, and dental available to you on day one. We just fairly recently added 401k to our benefits portfolio. Plus, we've got a great community of nurses. There's 30,000 strong online. And again, the awesome care team that will have your back the whole way.
All right. And just like we talked about, we do have a care team support throughout your journey. So, yeah, we're going to kind of, each care team member is going to go through our flywheel just to kind of explain where they'll see you along that journey.
So I can start it off. First, when you sign up for Trusted, our care team will be available to help you get your profile set up, answer questions along the way. Once your profile is complete, then you'll get introduced to your nurse advocate and be able to start requesting jobs. So our role as your nurse advocate is to help answer any questions that you have about matches that come up. And biggest thing we do is facilitate the offer process. So when a facility extends an offer to you, we'll provide you with all of those details, help make sure that everything looks good on all sides of it, and get that contract locked down.
The care coordinator team, we're actually the only team members who assist you at every stage of your travel journey. So we'll help you get your profile created and completed at the start of your journey with Trusted. And then while you're working with your nurse advocate, compliance coordinator, or clinical success partner, we can help with all your general questions about Trusted or HR. And if we don't know the answer, we're always able to pass you off to someone who does. So care coordinators are our experts on Trusted specifically. And we also have a lot of general knowledge about travel nursing in general. So if you have a question and you don't know where to start, a care coordinator is usually the right place to start, and we can help get you connected with the right answer.
Once you have found the perfect assignment and you've got that offer locked down, then you'll move into the onboarding phase, which is where your compliance coordinator or operations coordinator, you'll hear them called both, will assist you in getting everything ready that you need for your assignment. I'll go into depth more about that a little bit later, but throughout the whole onboarding process, you'll be working with one person most likely.
All right, and once you guys have all your compliance done and they send you your first day information, your clinical success partner will be your go-to person for everything that comes up on assignment. From the good things, the tough things, benefits questions, time card questions, we're here for you.
All right, and here are the kind of steps that we're going to go through today, from sign up to matches to profile completion to onboarding and assignment. So yeah, we're going to walk you through that journey now.
So the very first thing you need to do to unlock your matches is just sign up and create a profile. So when you go to our website, trustedhealth.com, there's a big button in the top right that says sign up. So you'll go through your sign up flow here. We'll ask you some questions about your experience, whether you've traveled before, what your specialty is, how knowledgeable you feel about the travel industry, just some basic questions to get to know you. And once you've completed that sign up flow and verified your phone number through a text message, you'll be able to start viewing your matches, which takes us to the next slide, which is discover your job matches. So once you've signed up, you'll be able to view matches right away. Matches is just our fancy term for any job that we have available. Every single job that we have available is available as a match. On the match page, you can see exactly the breakdown of everything. It's very transparent. So you can see what the pay will be, what the requirements are for the role. You can see whether it's day or night shift, how many hours you have per week, any other requirements, anything we know from the facility is on this match page. And we even have some other helpful things like a weather forecast for that area or housing recommendations for the area from Furnished Finder.
So profile completion happens at a little bit of a different time for everyone. Some people decide to finish up their profile before they start reviewing matches, and others say, oh, I want that job, and then finish their profile. Regardless of when it happens, once your profile is complete, you will be introduced to your nurse advocate. We generally work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 in our time zone. So hours can vary a little bit, but we have an extended team that reviews all applications, gets you submitted even on off hours and weekends to make sure that we're never holding up that process unless we need something from you. In the top right corner of your profile, that's where that little profile completion box lives. That'll tell you exactly what you have left to do before we can get you submitted. And then once you do request matches, we'll review your application, make sure that we have all of the certifications, skills checklists, references, everything that the facility requires, so that once you're submitted, we don't have to go back and forth to get more stuff.
And then once you have worked with your nurse advocate to secure an offer and everything's been signed, you'll move into the onboarding stage. During onboarding, you'll be assigned the operations coordinator who will be your partner and walk you through everything you need to meet the facility's requirements for employment. This will often include things such as background checks, drug screens, Relias or RN.com exams, any copies of your licenses or certifications, as well as health orders such as immunizations, titers, physical exams, etc. Your operations coordinator will keep you in the loop about what you need to complete, and they'll be giving you many deadlines to make along the way to make sure you can get cleared to start working. In your Trusted app, you will have an overarching deadline that can be found on your onboarding dashboard if you need a reminder. In addition to your operations coordinator reaching out to you, you also have your dashboard, which will show you all the tasks that need to be completed. So you can actually get started on signing forms or uploading whatever documentation you may have before your coordinator even reaches out to you. And then at that point, once your operations coordinator has everything the facility has requested, they'll reach out for what is called final clearance. This entails the facility reviewing your files and ensuring that everything you've submitted meets their standards. And then they give you the green light to begin working and send over your orientation info.
All right, and once you get that beautiful clearance to go on your assignment and first day information is sent your way, your clinical success partner will be your go-to for basically anything you need. We can help direct you to whoever might have a better answer than we do. If you have any issues on your assignment, we are always here to support you. As we've mentioned a couple times, Trusted does work a little bit differently. We don't have recruiters, but we do have someone here for you support whatever problems may arise or whatever great things may happen on your assignment that you want to celebrate. So you can always go to your inbox and send a message, and one of our lovely quick care coordinators will make sure that it gets to the right person. So speaking of our inbox, it's had a wonderful glow up lately, so take advantage of it. But you can go to your inbox and send a message under a specific topic if you have one, or if it's a general question. And we have an amazing team of care coordinators who triage all those questions that come in, and they answer a majority of them. They are a wealth of knowledge, but they also direct those questions appropriately to where they need to go so that they can get answered. Once your message has been responded to and your question is answered, most of those messages will be archived. So you'll see that on your inbox, you have multiple sections now for active messages and archived messages. So if you asked a question, you forgot about the answer, you can go into your archive tab and look up what they sent over to you. You also can get into the help topics directly from your inbox now. So all the help trusted articles that you see are available from your inbox.
Amazing. And then once you're on assignment and then throughout your process here, we also offer the trusted community. So we have a community forum, as we mentioned before, of over 30K nurses, as well as we're on all social platforms. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We are there. As well as blogs and resources. So besides our help center, we also have nurses on hand actually ready to help you with guides to different cities that you're in. If you have questions on finances or even topics like travel nursing, what to bring and things like that. As well as on our site, we have a salary and CEU tracker that a lot of people take advantage of, as well as we host virtual and live events similar to these. So we've hosted drag bingo, rage rooms, and then we also virtually host grief support circles, fitness classes, and just anything you name it, we got you covered in the community. All right. So without further ado, ask away. Let us know what questions you may have. They can be on travel nursing. They can be on our journeys. They can be on the trusted platform. Anything you got, we're here to answer. And I'll just let some come in on that Q&A portion. All right, I'll ask one. How do you all find housing?
Question. One thing I was super surprised about when I started travel nursing was how many different sources there are to find housing. Lots of people use Airbnb, lots of people use Furnish Finder. Trusted recently launched a partnership with Landing, which is similar to Furnished Finders. But I had a lot of success either with friends or family or on the travel nurse Facebook pages. I would just post where I was going to be, when I was going to be there. And I had both landlords respond with places that were available, as well as other nurses with suggestions of where they had stayed when they were on assignment there.
Perfect. Question about insurance. Do we offer it? What does it look like? Can you kind of speak to that a little bit more? And then maybe those wellness benefits I think I heard of.
one. So with insurance, we offer medical, dental, and vision. All the plans are through Aetna, except in Hawaii, where they are through Kaiser. These are not mandatory. So if you want to opt out of one or all, maybe you only need vision or you only need dental or you only need medical, you can opt out of the other options. There's also options to stay enrolled between contracts. So if your contract ends and you have less than a 28-day gap before your next contract begins, you can just pay catch-up deductions when your new contract starts. That way you don't have to have a lapse in coverage between contracts. And you do also always have the option for COBRA when your contract ends to stay enrolled afterward. If you want exact information about the cost of insurance, Britt, I don't know if we have a way to send messages directly in this, but otherwise you can reach out through inbox and your care team is happy to send you over a worksheet that has all the full breakdowns of costs and coverage. And can't get into Sequoia. How do you get your work email address? Usually your work email address is just the same email address on your trusted account. But again, if you're having trouble, reach out to your care team and we'll be happy to get you settled.
Awesome. Thank you for that. That was perfect, Katie. Another question. Do we offer reimbursements, travel, things like that?
Yeah, I can take that if you want. So we do reimburse for certain things. Things that maybe you might be used to getting reimbursed for that we don't would be things that are normally required for being a nurse, basically. So your BLS, if you're in a critical care area, ACLS, things that are normally required for your job are not reimbursed for. The reason for this is just because it's not universal. And so instead of having to pick and choose where money goes to, standardized the pay packages here at Trusted. And so we can't just pull money from somewhere to reimburse you for other things. So basically anything that you would normally need for your position is not reimbursable. Any specialty thing, you can always reach out to your compliance, your CSP, and they can let you know if it's reimbursable.
And does that include licensure?
Your licensure is reimbursable if you use it within 90 days of getting your license. So if you get your license and then within those 90 days you take an assignment in that state, you will get reimbursed for that license.
Awesome.
Additionally, with reimbursements, from a compliance standpoint, anything like drug tests, physicals, titers, anything that needs to be ordered is completely reimbursable as well. Our operations coordinators can actually set up those orders for you at specific locations. Everything except for the drug screen, though, you're welcome to source yourself and submit for reimbursement.
Perfect. Thank you guys for those answers. All right. And don't forget that Q&A portion if anybody has any other questions. What travel nursing resources did you all use along your travels? Whether it be other Facebook groups that you can like kind of name, or to find friends, or maybe even when you were in cities, how did you do fitness classes or things like that?
My biggest resources when I was getting ready to travel were honestly other people that worked in my home hospital who had traveled before. That's kind of where I started for everything, whether it was finding a recruiter, finding a company to go for or to go through. I just felt like the people I trusted were going to give me good recommendations. And as those of us who have traveled and those of us involved in the travel industry know, it can be pretty overwhelming. And then I found a lot of information just on the Gypsy Nurse Facebook page. There's like a zillion nurses and other people in the medical community and the travel community that are in there. And everybody, though there's a lot of them, the travel community is pretty small and everybody just really is out to help everybody, it seems.
Another thing for like fitness classes, I would say ClassPass is a really good one. GroupMe is another good resource too, because you can find friends that like to do the same things as you. And then what I always like to tell people is to be a little bit annoying on the floor, not in a bad way, but just like really go out there and say, hey, I'm a traveler. What do you all like to do in this city? What's your favorite thing to do? Or, hey, do you want to go get lunch sometime at, the coffee spot down the street or whatever? I think that kind of putting yourself out there also definitely helps get you some of the answers you need as well, because we're not the experts when we're so new to a city. What are three or less of the most important things that you do for every contract to acclimate to the floor?
Oh, I definitely think number one is knowing the codes that you need to get into every room, where your main supply closet is, and then also figuring out who you can ask when you forget where those things are.
Solid. Can we
My
negotiate? Oh, Ashley, go ahead.
I was just gonna say my big ones were where do I chart stuff and where's the bathroom?
Good. Oh, also, you got to know the numbers too. Sometimes, if you need to call a charge nurse or a resource nurse or you need help, you got to know the numbers. Another question we got is, can we negotiate contracts or pay?
So the answer to that is it depends on what you want to negotiate. Sometimes, if there is a shift that's offered and you had applied for the other shift, we can reach out, ask about those details. There's certain flexibility for negotiating contract length and time off in certain cases. When it comes to pay, we do our best to give every nurse we can upfront every time. And for that reason, we don't negotiate. There are a couple of scenarios in which negotiation might be possible. If you see an identical posting on our website that's the same hospital, the same unit, the same shift, and it's a different pay package, we can ask the vendor if they can honor that. Sometimes one job just doesn't get updated, and that lower rate is the correct one. As I said earlier, we do our best to keep everything updated, but we rely on those vendors to provide the updates. So sometimes we don't find out about those changes until the time of the offer. But we are always on your team, and we're always going to advocate for what you want in the capacity that we're able to.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I'm just looking at these other questions. Oh, does anyone have any tax resources? You know, that's a huge question for us a lot of times. Jeff Conti is a good one. He is at, oh my goodness, I'll link it. Travel tax is another good resource. Yeah, those are some pretty good ones. Did you guys ship or drive your cars?
Or I did both. I drove a lot, but when I went from Massachusetts to California the first time, I shipped it, and it was honestly great.
I also did both. So yeah, from Baltimore to California, I shipped it, but from North Carolina to Arizona, I drove it. So a lot of that differs, um, just depending. But there's some great companies out there that you can definitely find. How do local contracts work? Do we offer them?
Yeah, we do offer local contracts, unless there's something in the match that says like you must live 50 miles away from this facility or whatever mileage they determine in order to qualify for stipends. We can pull that as a local package for you. So if you have a specific match you're interested in, feel free to send it over an inbox and your care team can give you an estimate. Just keep in mind that because a lot of facilities don't post their official rates until you receive an offer for local contracts specifically, it's more of an estimate until we receive the offer for the local contract. Anything I'm missing, Ashley?
Just wanted to point out the differences between our local and travel contracts. Of course, the biggest difference is going to be that pay package and the structure of it. It'll be all taxed rather than having tax-free stipends. So the stipend money will get shifted around. To Katie's point, a lot of the times we don't know the exact rate until we get the offer for a local contract. But oftentimes it is a little bit lower than the travel contract. So just something to be aware of. And then the other big difference with our local contracts versus our travel contracts is there are not guaranteed hours when we're working with local contracts. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's a deal breaker for some nurses. Other nurses aren't worried about it, but just good to be aware of.
Amazing, amazing. I'm trying to see if there are any more I can ask. And don't forget to hit that Q&A section. Sorry, I'm just looking at these. Some of the ones we got from the beginning. Any helpful tips on completing your profile or special requests or anything like that that you guys could offer when people are filling out their profile? Or if they want to travel with a friend maybe or something like that?
My biggest piece of advice when you're completing your profile is prioritize requesting your references. That's the one piece of it that you don't have control over because you're waiting on somebody else to do it. So managers get busy, charge nurses get busy. I say get on top of that as soon as you can. And then in terms of traveling with a partner, let us know. We'll do our best to make sure that we're getting you guys submitted at the same time to the same places. We'll match you with the same nurse advocate so you just have one point of contact and everyone's on the same page. And then any special requests, when you hit apply to any of the jobs, there is a box for you to put in special requests. So if that's a 12-week contract instead of 13, blocked scheduling. I always encourage people to put travel pairs there too, but that information is what we'll pass along to the facility. And in order to get those things approved for your contract, we got to request them early.
And how much experience do new travelers or should new travelers get before they try to travel?
Trusted requires 1 year of experience. A lot of matches will require 2 years within your specialty, but I'd also be curious to our nurses how much experience you felt like was helpful before traveling.
I always say that you should feel like you can hit the floor running. And basically, like if you got no orientation, you could still take care of your patients.
I second that. Definitely, a lot of times on travel nursing assignments, you get to little to no orientation. So I would say just make sure that you feel comfortable with what you're doing, the skills, get brush up on those before you head out, and just ensure that you're prepared like to chart and things like that, because you always got a CYA to make sure you are covered during travel nursing, and yeah, that's kind of my piece of advice. So I was a tenured nurse. So before I started traveling, but I would definitely say 2 years just because, some crazy things have happened out there. And we want to make sure you're covered and you feel safe. That is the hugest thing that I always say is just make sure you feel safe.
Thing I'll tack on in terms of experience is just to keep in mind the specialty that you're applying to, they're going to be looking for you to have experience in that specialty within the last 1 to 3 years. So if you were an ER nurse for 10 years, in the last 5 years, you've been working ICU, that ER experience is probably not going to get you an ER contract because things change quickly in medicine and they want that to be current.
Do we have assignments in all 50 states? That was a trick question. So for, I believe it might have been Jennifer, I think you said you wanted to go to Hawaii. Who said you wanted to go to Hawaii? Yes. Oh no, Vina. Yeah. So you can get to Hawaii with your friend. We have a lot of nurses there, and we have a guide on Hawaii as well. So if you're looking for anything, get the shaved ice though for sure, and poke for me. All right. Does anyone else have any more questions? I think we covered a pretty good gamut. Any last minute travel nurse advice, ladies?
Enjoy every second of it. It goes by really, really fast. 13 weeks sounds like a long time, but it's super short. And there's usually so much to see wherever you are. So strike up conversations with your patients, with your coworkers, with your waiters, everybody, and find out what you can do and enjoy those 13 weeks.
Mine is always to just do it. When I was thinking about it and kind of on the fence, there were so many nurses that I work with that told me they thought about it, but then they met their husband or they got pregnant or they got a puppy or they bought a house. And almost every single one of those stories ended with, but I wish I would have done it when I had the chance. So I always say go for it. And once you do go for it, give it 2 assignments, because if the first one's terrible, that's not giving you a good picture of what travel nursing can be.
I love that. That's great advice. I mean, you guys stole some good ones. So, um, I'd also say take advantage of it in a sense of make sure that if your whatever your why is before traveling, make sure you know that. Like if you're trying to get out of debt, if you're trying to see all 50 states, if you want to buy a home, make sure you expand travel nursing to whatever that your why is and the reason that you're traveling. Just make sure you keep that in mind. And like everyone else said, just go for it because I definitely believe that everybody can do it and everybody should. And it is the greatest decision I ever made in my life. And I'm sure everyone else can attest to that. So definitely good luck. And we are literally here throughout the entire process for whenever you are ready to travel. I will be sending out an email to everyone, just kind of listing new travel nurse resources and some of the things that we were talking about earlier. So you guys feel that you guys can look over things and just feel acquainted with everything before you hop on our platform. And then, as we said, we are always just an inbox away, an email away, a click away. And we are so happy and waiting for you all to, take that leap into travel nursing. And we hope that it is with Trusted. So yeah, I'll be sending out that email, and then there will also be an event survey there, and that is how we get better. We want to make sure that we are providing you all with everything that you need, and if you have any other questions or concerns or feedback, we are all ears. That's how we get better here at Trusted. So if you guys could do me a favor and fill that out, that would be amazing. And if you guys don't have anything else, we thank you again, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.